Almost 2 decades ago, Karen and I had a heck of a year. We lost a pregnancy. My father was given a terminal diagnosis. We had to put down a beautiful little kitten who we had just rescued from living in a dumpster. When Lent came around that year, people at our church were asking each other, well, what are you giving up for Lent this year? What are you giving up for Lent this year? I was tired, not just like tired in my body. I was tired deep inside myself. When it was my turn to speak, I said, sort of out of nowhere, this Lent, I'm giving up giving things up. Ash Wednesday is the first day of Lent. It's principally about two things. It's about the recognition of our sinfulness and our need to repent and return to the Lord. And it's about the recognition of our mortality. When ashes are placed on our foreheads, we hear those words, remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return. In that way, Ash Wednesday is a great equalizer. It doesn't matter who we are, how much education we have, how much money we have, how many friends we have. We are all sinners, and we are all going to die. I have to wonder, though, after a year of a global pandemic where well over 400,000 of our fellow citizens have died due to this terrible disease, do we really need a fresh reminder of our mortality? I mean, haven't we been reminded of that every time we put on a mask, every time we wash our hands, every time an event or a gathering is canceled? From 1941, when the United States entered into World War II, and 1945, when victory was declared, in those 4 years of war, the U.S. lost fewer people than we have in the last 10 months of COVID-19. Recently, California had to briefly halt cremations because the sheer number of them were affecting the air quality. In the spring of 2020, the crematoriums here in the Somerset Hills were running day and night to keep up with the deaths from New Jersey and New York. The scale of death and loss is so immense, it's hard to put into perspective. As a priest, I hear from people who get sick from COVID, or who have family members or coworkers who are sick with COVID. As a priest, I also hear from people whose depression, anxiety, loneliness, addictions, and other mental health issues are rising to danger levels. We have been isolated for so long. Many of us have people that we love who died from this disease, and many of those people who were lost weren't even able to say goodbye to their loved ones or have a last hug. They weren't able to have a proper funeral or a gathering where people can come together and cry and hug and hold each other in grief. So here's what I'm proposing for Ash Wednesday this year. We certainly need a reminder of our sinfulness and our need to turn to God, but we probably don't need a reminder of our mortality. I feel like we're all kind of experts in that right now. What I feel like we need is a space to grieve and remember the lives that were lost in the last year and the life that has been lost. And maybe we'll even see the possibility of giving up, giving things up.